8 times Kodak Black went too far. Ever since Kodak Black has become a popular name in the hip-hop scene, one thing he's gotten a reputation for is speaking his mind. For better or for worse, Kodak does not hold his tongue. A perfect example of this is in his 2016 XXL Cypher when he roasted the beats they gave him to rap on. In this video, we'll discuss 8 times that Kodak Black crossed the line. These are 8 different occasions of highly questionable content. You may be familiar with a few of them. Before we start, make sure you click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Number 8. Kodak calls out Drake. In 2015, Kodak transitioned from being a popular local rapper to being known in all 50 states because of his hit song Skirt, which is now sitting at 61 million views. One reason this song got so big is a cosign from none other than the Sixth God. When the track came out, Drake shared a video of himself dancing to it on a private plane to his tens of millions of Instagram followers. The clip went viral, partially because people were making fun of Drake's dance moves, but also because people loved the song playing in the background. Either way you slice it, Drake played a huge part in the song's success. You'd think Kodak would show his gratitude for what Drake did, but instead he came out questioning his motives, saying, "If you're trying to show that you F with me, throw me on your album so I can get some royalties." Do you think Kodak was ungrateful for saying this? Let us know in the comments. Number 7. Kodak Disses Yah T. Remember that Grammy-nominated song Broccoli? The song that dropped in 2016 that gave Yachty and Dram their biggest song yet? Well, back when it came out, Kodak Black posted a video on Instagram accusing the Broccoli rappers of jacking his swag. He claimed that he came up with the term in 2014 himself, and that he was now going to have to stop using it entirely.
Man, you know what? For now on, man, I don't smoke broccoli no more, man. I smoke cantaloupe since you square trying to steal my little swag, man. I smoke cantaloupe now, you know what I'm saying? When we orange now, tired. Man, you can't say broccoli no more, you know what I'm saying? You gotta say spinach or something, you know what I'm saying? You don't smoke broccoli, y'all smoke spinach.
Yachty responded confused, stating that he made sure to always shout out Kodak before performing the song. The two artists shared the XXL Freshman cover, and Yachty clearly didn't understand the animosity that was coming from Kodak.
Hey man, let me speak on something real quick, man. First off, anytime before I perform the song Broccoli, I say, shouts out to that Kodak. Kodak said, I told the teacher, I'm a healthy kid. I smoke broccoli. I give all my credit.
Legendary Bay Area rapper E40 also interjected himself into the situation when he started bringing up the facts. He took to Instagram to share a clip of his 1993 track, Practice Looking Hard, in which he clearly refers to Mary Jane as Broccoli, a whole 4 years before Kodak was even born. Looks like this argument was over nothing, and it's obvious Kodak was overreacting. Number 6. Kodak Black disses Lil Uzi. In 2017, Kodak was on Instagram Live when a fan asked him what he thought about his counterparts and fellow XXL freshmen Lil Uzi and Lil Yachty. Unexpectedly, he started going off on them by saying, "Well, actually, I'll just show you the video."
Rest of these fake rappers. Hey, listen here, man, listen. I got some more albums coming out. I am not like these other. I don't even listen to Uzi. You in the booty. They confusing the community.
Leave it to Kodak to tell us exactly what's on his mind. When a fan asked Uzi how he felt about the situation, Uzi brushed it off by saying, quote, "What do I think about Kodak? That's one of my classmates on XXL. I F with Kodak." Uzi explained, "I ain't poor. If I was poor, that would have gotten to me. If I was poor, I would have had all day to think about that." Number 5. Kodak versus The Shade Room. In June of 2017, Kodak Black took to his Instagram Live to discuss his taste in women with a fan. When asked about Keke Palmer, Kodak said this.
Keke Palmer, she's great. I bad her, but you know what I'm saying? I don't really like black girls like that. Some sort of kind of.
To escalate things, Kodak went on IG a few days later to clarify that it was only dark-skinned women that weren't his forte. He never backed down again from this stance, going on live television later that week at Master P's charity basketball game to explain himself. In his words, women who shared his own complexion were too tough. He also added that, quote, light-skinned women, they more sensitive. Kodak's interesting perspective and preference was met with quite a bit of backlash, as you would expect, and ultimately led him to getting Donkey of the Day, and him temporarily deleting his social media accounts. He probably lost some female supporters too. Number 4. Kodak Black Disses Lil Wayne. One thing that hip-hop as a culture expects of new rappers is that they respect their elders, the rappers who came before them and that paved the way for them to create the music they do. As you might expect, Kodak didn't follow this rule. Inspired by the rumored Soulja Boy vs. Chris Brown boxing match, he took to Instagram to challenge Lil Wayne to get in the ring with him. The animosity likely stemmed from Wayne telling the New York Times in an earlier interview that he didn't know who Kodak Black was, but most people felt that he took this way too far. Not much else came from the situation until a couple years later, Kodak continued to verbally assault Wayne when he got on the microphone at a Miami nightclub and said this.
Lil Wayne. You played, you late. You maggot, you should have died when you was a baby.
Wayne's daughter was understandably upset and got on Instagram to post a response to Kodak in defense of her father. Quote, "My father don't bother nobody," she said. "He won't even react to what he said." Following this, Kodak began to backtrack, but not before ruthlessly dissing both Reginae and her mother for getting involved in the situation. Talk about taking it too far. Number 3. Kodak Black hits on Lauren London. The tragic passing of Nipsey Hussle sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community. Numerous celebrities and icons paid tribute, including the former President Barack Obama himself. Not surprisingly, Kodak seemed to have missed the memo when just over a week after Nipsey's death, he made an offhand comment about shooting his shot at Lauren London. That was a line most people didn't expect anyone to cross because Nipsey was so respected, and ever since then, the public's perception of Kodak hasn't been the same. Even the biggest fans were disappointed. He took to his Instagram to attempt to apologize to Lauren, but he's not the type to admit when he's wrong, so it didn't come off as very genuine.
If I disrespected you, Lauren London, in any shape or form, I'm sorry. Even though I didn't. And rest in peace to Dude.
Number 2. Kodak disses T.I. and his family. As we saw with the Lil Wayne incident, Kodak spares nobody when he lashes out, going as far as to diss people's family members, and T.I. was another person at the receiving end of this sort of disrespect. It all started when T.I. famously took to Instagram, telling Kodak he needed to straighten his act out expeditiously because of his comments about Lauren London. Kodak fired back quickly with a diss track that not only attacked T.I. for his snitching rumors that had been surrounding his name for years, but also disparaged his wife's looks. To make matters worse, Kodak followed up by going on Instagram and taking a shot at T.I.'s young son.
Really would, like, you should have made one of your little little sons write a rap, right? Cause that really like booted in.
These comments were new lows for the Florida rapper, and many felt as though Kodak had taken things way too far. T.I. handled the situation maturely when questioned about it during an interview, but it's clear that these statements were not okay, even by rap standards. Number 1. Kodak Black disses Young Miami. As most of us know, Kodak has been locked up for the better part of 2019, and a few weeks ago he dropped a freestyle from behind bars in which he allegedly threatens pregnant City Girls rapper Young Miami, who he previously dated. These comments were very disturbing mainly because of the fact that Miami is expecting a baby. Her boyfriend, Atlanta producer Southside, posted a video in response to the young Florida rapper, urging him to get out of jail first and then run his mouth. Surprisingly enough, Kodak came out on Twitter and revealed that he came to the conclusion that he was wrong. Quote, "Gimmicks are for suckers. As I sit back, I realize how petty that move was," he said in one tweet. He even tweeted at Southside saying he prays that him and Miami have a healthy baby, and that they need to make music together in the future. If you didn't know, Southside produced Kodak's biggest song, Tunnel Vision. While he didn't outright apologize, it's still commendable that he was able to somewhat own up to his mistakes, and even more impressive that he attempted to smooth things over with Southside, considering the harsh words he had for Kodak. So, there you have it. 8 times that Kodak Black went too far. I'm glad we could end this on a positive note, as it seems Kodak is starting to mature a lot while he's incarcerated. So hopefully we don't see much more shenanigans from him in the future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button, and before you leave, subscribe to our channel.